When I start recording this episode right now, my first thought isn't, all right, how do I make more money? How do I get money out of everybody? That's not the focus. The focus is, how do I support? How do I help? The money will come in your podcast and in my podcast. But what you need to be focusing on is, how do I serve?
Most hosts never achieve the results they hoped for. They're falling short on listenership and monetization, meaning their message isn't being heard and their show ends up costing them money. This podcast was created to help you grow your listenership and make money while you're at it. Get ready to take notes. Here's your host, Adam Adams.
Hey, podcaster, it's your host, Adam Adams. And today I am helping you with a new way of thinking about how to grow your podcast. And that is that you don't focus on growing your podcast. What? All right. Well, what we're talking about is your main focus. This doesn't mean you can't hire a company like ours who does paid advertising and actually get you in front of more people. But your focus, the things that you need to be thinking about, need to not be about, how do I monetize? How do I grow? Your focus needs to be, how do I add good value? How do I support my perfect avatar? How do I help them take the next steps for them? Your thought pattern, your thought process. I made up a new word, pattern, or maybe pottery people say pattern. Anyway, your thought pattern, your thought process needs to be focused on, what do I need to do to serve my perfect avatar? You need to be focused on, who is the avatar? What do they want? What keeps them up at night? How do I support them? How do I get them to the next level? And that needs to be your first focus. Maybe you can hire somebody like us. Now, you could do Facebook ads. You could get on other people's podcasts to grow your show. You could do a number of things that do grow your show. But what your main focus is not, how big can I grow my show? How many listeners can I get in front of right now? Your main focus is, how do I be a person of value? How do I have a podcast that gives my listener something different than they would get if they listen to my competition's podcast? Your main focus needs to be, how do I be a person of value? How do I add value? How do I support? How do I help? And of course, how do you help that person take the next steps? Because it is absolutely true that your perfect listener, and that's my listener too, which is you, my perfect listener, they are a podcaster. They want to grow. They don't want to go through troubles or hardships. My perfect avatar wants to be able to press the easy button and have their podcast done for them. My perfect listener wants to be able to be the star of their show without all the hard work. My perfect person that I support, that I help, that's what they go through. They've got a business. They've got a way to monetize that's better than just advertisements. They are a consultant. They do have a service-based business. And they need to be able to monetize. They need to be able to support that next person. That doesn't mean it needs to be your very first thought. When I start recording this episode right now, my first thought isn't, all right, how do I make more money? How do I get money out of everybody? That's not the focus. The focus is, how do I support? How do I help? The money will come in your podcast and in my podcast. The money will come. But what you need to be focusing on is, how do I serve? How do I support? How do I take them from the steps that they're making now to the next step? One of the ways that I take you to the next step is, I let you know that I can help you. I let you know unapologetically, without feeling bad about letting you know and trying to sell you. I don't feel bad about that at all. I want to help you go to the next level. You should help that other person go to the next level, but that's not the main focus. Again, what is the main focus? Don't focus on, quote, growing your podcast. Don't focus on, quote, monetizing your podcast. Focus on helping and serving and bringing your perfect listener to the next step that they need to make, giving them content that benefits them, giving them calls to action that help them go to the next level. For example, work with us. You can press record and I'll take care of all the hard stuff. You press record, we'll handle the rest. You press record. We're the easy button for podcasters. We help you after. That's what you should be doing as well. You focus on the value and give a call to action on, how can you do the next step? Lately, I've been talking to a few clients that want to monetize. And my advice is, don't focus on the monetizing, focus on the value. It's going to help, it's going to support, and it's going to come anyway if your heart's in the right place. You just got to let your listener know X, Y, and Z. Same thing that you've got to do is the same thing that I do. My heart's in the right place. Your heart needs to be in the right place. Be that person of value and everything else will fall into place. If you need to market, if you need to grow your podcast, try to stay in your lane. Try to focus on the stuff that you're good at and outsource the rest. Give it to your virtual assistant. Give it to a company like mine. Give it to your friend who's been really good at Facebook ads. Not somebody who's shitty at Facebook ads. Not somebody who's learning Facebook ads. Somebody who's great at it, like our company. Or maybe you've got a friend that does that too. Maybe you can find a virtual assistant. You focus on the value and let somebody else focus on the marketing. It will grow. I'll see you on the next episode. Oh, hey, because 3 of my clients came to me recently looking to find a way to have their podcast make them money instead of cost them money. We put together a resource for some of our clients, and I want to give it to you as well. It's something that did actually seem to help because one of them is now making $2,600 a month. Another one's $4,500 a month. And the third is making between $5,000 and $10,000 each month. And so it's been a resource that's been incredibly valuable to them. It's our sponsor sheet template. It's a template of a sponsor sheet, and it gives you something that you can hand to potential sponsors and hopefully also be making $2,600, $4,500, or between $5,000 and $10,000 regularly each month with your podcast. So this has been a contributing factor to helping all 3 of those clients turn their podcast into an additional income stream for them. And the way that you can find it is just going to our website, growyourshow.com, but put in /templates, growyourshow.com /templates. And then you can actually download that template and others that could be valuable to your podcasting experience. I'll see you on the next episode.